Good evening, good afternoon, good morning, welcome back to the channel. Today I am installing a new stereo into the Alfa Romeo 4C. This is the first actual modification to the car. I might have mentioned before in other videos that I had a stereo on the way. I went with the Joying stereo. This is a Chinese brand stereo. It's an Android driven stereo, but it's the one that fits the best for this vehicle by far from videos I've seen. It doesn't block the ventilation. It doesn't go too low where it covers up any of the buttons in the stereo. And just the fact that it's Android, I'm an Android person, easy for me to just get my music playing. And the stereo that was with it, the Parrot Stereo, is well, for one, it's very outdated, and I didn't really get a chance to use it because the faceplate on it, there's like some sort of malfunction with it where it wouldn't even work consistently. So I'll talk more about that in just a bit. This is not a tutorial on how to do the installation per se, but I'm gonna show you along the way how I do it. If you come across any issues or anything like that, without any further ado, no call start for the car because I'm not driving it anywhere, but we will get that installed. Okay, Trent's gonna help me get the stereo out. She's gonna invert. The seat or no? Probably not. And this is just like the picture I showed you, except cooler looking.
Okay, so I have to pop it?
Yeah, basically you're gonna push the stereo outwards. Are you able to see? It's like mostly silver.
This is the stereo here?
No, more towards your left.
Oh, I see it.
Yeah. So let's see if she's able to do it.
Just pop it out?
I think so. Try to just push that whole thing outward. Give it a push. Wow, there we go. So basically, we just re-recorded that for just so you guys can see. But basically, I stuck a couple of metal pieces in through here. Whoa. And then Trent just pushed it after that because look, she's little and can fit. If I did this, I'd probably be stuck for at least 45 days.
And you can get out by then.
And yeah, I would probably have to be fed and given water, maybe a bowl or something. And I'd have to live here.
At least you'll get skinny.
Or die.
Maybe you'll get out.
But anyways, the stereo's out. Thank you.
Yup.
Basically, we had no tools to get this out. Normally, or what I've seen online is that even though this is the stereo that comes with the Alfa, it's supposed to come with the box of the stereo from Parrot, usually found in the trunk or maybe given to you by the dealership. But of course I bought this car used, so I didn't necessarily get that. So typically you would have a tool that comes with it to get this not only all the way through to push down these pieces, those metal pieces there, to push them down to be able to pull out, but they also work as hooks. I didn't have that tool obviously, and I read online that you could just push the stereo from the back, but that is only half of the job. And of course you saw Trent is much smaller and more flexible than I am, so that's one. And then two, you actually still need something to push these metal pieces down from the top and the bottom. So you still need something to go in there and kind of like, push that to be able to release this. So luckily I had two of these little metal things that came with the abarth removal kit. They're not for the abarth either, but they were long enough and strong enough to go in to the same slots right here and fit in and push this metal piece down. And when I did that on both the top and bottom, that was when you saw Trent was actually able to push that right out. So now that is how you remove. I can probably do a video alone on just how to get your Parrot stereo out of your Alfa, but that's gonna be all in one. Like it just turned out that I didn't have the tool to get it out, but we were still able to get it out thanks for the forum. And I think this may be the only video that shows you how to pull out this old Parrot stereo out of your Alfa without having the removal kit. So it's possible. You don't necessarily have to spend your money. Probably could have done it with like a flathead screwdriver, something really thin, something just long enough and strong enough to go in there and push those metal tabs down. But anyways, let's get this out. Should probably disconnect the battery from the Alpha because that's what people recommend. There's this gray clip here that you just sort of snap off. Your negative terminal should come right off. I'll try to get some better lighting here in just a sec, but for now, the battery is disconnected. Now get this out. This is actually super tight in the sense that this is all the slack I'm getting to pull this out. I've seen in other videos where people just like to place something there just so none of this gets damaged. So I'll put this piece of like foam there for now, just so this doesn't scratch up anything down there. So we got the Parrot Stereo off. This thing is tiny. Like, this is my 4 fingers and it's about the same width. Super lightweight. And I really didn't get a chance to play around with the stereo too much, and it was actually acting up already. It's almost like the faceplate that came with it wasn't attached well, because it kept zooming in and out of having power or not having power, and it never really actually did a good job at like changing stations and volume going up and down. So the 2 times I actually did turn it on, it was just kind of like on one station on the same volume. I couldn't do anything about it, and so that really turned me off on using it, so I never really used it. But you know, the sound that the car makes is beautiful, so it doesn't matter too much if you have a stereo on or not. The real reason I got the new stereo is just because it'd be easier with an Android stereo to use Google Maps and things like that, where I could just keep my phone away and just concentrate whenever I need navigation on something that's easier to see up here. And which, by the way, now all the wires are pulled out. There's these bunches of wires that were zip tied to the stereo itself. Now they're obviously not. This should all be able to plug and play through the harness, is what they say. So I hope that is correct. If not, we are in trouble. Wish me luck. We have a little bit better lighting in here now. I have a box light courtesy of Trin from her makeup room. So yeah, a tad bit better light, especially for me. You know, you guys watching, use your imagination. But for me, it was getting a little bit dark, and I'm probably babbling too much about it. But basically, I don't, yeah. Anyways, I have the original stock bracket out. You do not want to know how I took that out. It was not graceful at all, but nothing got injured in the process except for maybe the bracket. But I have the new bracket here. It does look like it has some sort of like plastic on it. Let me see how they get this in. All right, new bracket in, hopefully in okay. You know me, this is never a tutorial on how to do it because I'm always not doing it right. But I got all of the harness out and all the other plugs that hopefully should plug in just fine. And then time to get the stereo in. So I got the Joying stereo here. Yeah, this is what I ended up getting. And should be plug and play, like I said before. Here's the ribbon that connects down to the LCD screen. So we'll get this all hooked up. Then we'll test it out, make sure it works, and then get that all nice and tucked away, and then we'll play with the stereo afterwards. Something to note, you gotta remember that the Parrot Stereo was in here, and although it is a stock stereo on the Alfa, you gotta remember that it's its own brand. So even though it's stock, meaning it comes with the car, it's not necessarily an Alfa stereo. So it appears that what you do have on here is one, a very sticky little piece of like cushion, but the most important part is that this is technically a harness itself, so it's not necessarily going to connect to the wire harness that comes with the joining. So yeah, I believe it is plug and play, but it's plug and play not to the Parrot harness, but to the harness that comes with the Alfa itself. I'm about to confirm that now. I'm just, so much stickiness out of this. So after that sticky situation, I have the harness that came with the joining connected to the Alfa's stereo plugs, not the one that comes with the Parrot Stereo. So if you have the Alpine one, maybe something similar, but yeah, something to think about, because I don't recall seeing this in the other stereo install videos that I've seen. Shout out to the folks that have put out some videos. They're very helpful, but a couple of things so far. Actually, you know what? At the end, I'll go over the things, because I'm still doing this install, but I'll go over some things that I haven't seen in other stereo install, specifically to the join in the Alpha. But yeah, let's keep it going. Here's one of the cool things about this stereo, and one is that it looks like a long tablet or a really huge cell phone. And the back just pretty much gets connected by a ribbon. And these over here, all these holes, means you can adjust the height of the stereo. It should fit really nice, and that is due to that, those little holes that you can adjust up and down. Now the ribbon connects right into here, or that's the ribbon that connects to that, and then those things that I showed you that you could adjust plug into there, so you could adjust it up and down. But first thing I'm gonna do is connect the ribbon, try out the stereo, see if it works before we get that all tucked in. All right, check it out. It is working now. Yeah, I'm not good at these type of things, so that's a win already. So now that I know it works just fine, and I'm gonna get that in. So excited. Now this is not gonna stay like this. I definitely need to get an Alfa Romeo wallpaper for the screen. Now you can see my beautiful reflection on the screen. And just to show you guys, like, okay, so here's my hand. And if you are familiar with the Alfa Romeo 4C, you get a pretty good idea of, like, you know, like you could still see the stitching. And down in here, like, obviously from this view, like, imagine this is where I'm looking from. You cannot see these. Now I could probably adjust this to go a little bit higher, but if you do duck down slightly, this is for your air conditioning, your key, and your defroster. These two are blanks right here. To me, it's not a big deal. Again, I could adjust it up, but honestly, I think I like the way this fits overall. I prefer, like, the icons of these to be slightly blocked, because obviously I memorized what these are, and it doesn't take long to just, you know, give a quick look down. I'd rather have just the little icons, these keys, blocked, rather than have the air conditioning, or the vents, I should say, right? Because, you know, it's also a heater. But I'd rather have those things blocked than these. So this is, yeah, perfect. And the angle, I mean, well, the angle is not because of the stereo exactly, but because of the way Alfa Romeo designed this dash. It's facing you. We'll go ahead and get this turned on, just so you can see. The boot is fairly quick, and yeah, we'll get this. Although it comes with a calculator, I need that definitely to, you know, keep track of all my monies. And yeah, responsive, really responsive. I wonder if we can get the radio working right away. Just for copyright reasons, I'm not going to play the other station, but it's funny. It's already determined that this is a hop-end stereo radio station. It's probably supposed to be, it'll probably say like hop and hip or something like that. But yeah, the stations do work. The radio does work. I'm not going to play that radio station. The volume control, this is one thing that you got to get used to, is that you don't have a knob or anything like that. So you do have to default to the volume button up here, and then adjust the volume as you go. So that we'll get some getting used to. So I need to see if this thing can tether. That is a huge thing. It does say Wi-Fi. Okay. I should be able to get this to tether with my phone when I'm out on the road, so I can use Google Play Music and all its apps. You know, one thing I just realized, I didn't connect the GPS to this, but that's fine. I think through the Wi-Fi I should be able to use Google Maps, no problem. Hopefully, crossing fingers. If not, I'm gonna have to get this sucker out and redo all that. But yeah, maybe I should turn the car on while I'm doing this, because it's gonna take a while. All right, now check this out. I have Google Play music player Now, a lot of people use Spotify or Apple to play their music, but you'd be able to do the exact same thing. I use Google Play, and yeah, look, you have the same way you would control this on your phone or your laptop, computer, whatever, what have you, works exactly the same way. And yeah, you can just go to like your app store and then download. Like I downloaded Play Music. It already comes preloaded with things like Google Maps. It has all my favorite places already queued up. Knows the location I'm at right now. We're able to type things in and start using it as a navigation. Definitely a lot better than what I had before. So yeah, that's something really cool about the stereo. And by the way, I got the times and everything corrected. But yeah, it's the equalizer. This thing actually works. Like I just went up and down while I was playing the music. I'm not going to play the music right now because, you know, copyright issues, but it really works and it makes it sound really good. It sounded super flat, and sure enough, I went into the equalizer and everything was set flat. So I turned the bass up a little bit here and turned the treble up a little bit there, and the music sounds way better. So the equalizer really does work on this. You know, I'm just playing around with it for now, and I do mean the stereo. I don't like these icons, but I did manage to put a little Alfa Romeo emblem as the wallpaper back there. I got rid of something that was over here just because it was taking up so much space, but as I go along I will use this a little bit more. But I've been using up just the car battery for quite a while, so I'll start her back up. That's gonna do it for inside here for now. So far, loving it. Still need to try it out in the real world to see how it works. Super happy how this turned out. It was truly the easiest stereo install I've ever done. The joying, I'll leave the link in the description. If you have an Alfa Romeo 4C, this thing truly is plug it and play. I like that they left it completely blank. Now you can see my fingerprints all over that, so maybe I need to bring like a little rag to clean it up along with me. I could probably keep it in the cubby of the car, but I like how they left it completely blank, because there used to be the stereo would actually say joying down here at the bottom, and what people would do is they would print out little stickers with a black backing that would say Alfa Romeo, and it would cover that joying logo. This one is completely blank. It looks wonderful, fits great, easy to install. I have no complaints so far, other than the microphone thing, but that's like a known issue for this. But that's okay. I don't actually use my voice with much of my stereos anyways. And again, it's a huge improvement from what I had before. In the future, if I wanted to, I could even connect a backup camera to it. I think I already know which one will work perfect for it. The only thing is getting the work done itself is something I would probably break a few things along the way. So that's a maybe. Again, it has the sensors. So, I mean, it has nothing to do with the stereo. So it'll work for now. And I don't use this as a daily driver anyhow. So super happy with the result. Well, that's gonna do it for today. Hope you guys enjoyed the video as always. Thanks to Trend for helping me out. She was very clutch. I did not have the tool, as you guys can see, to get the stereo out, but hopefully you learned, because again, I haven't seen any videos out there that show you how to get the stereo out if you do not have the tool that comes with the Parrot Stereo. Might be the same with the Alpine Stereo, but it is very doable. Just gotta get those metal clips in there and have someone that can fit upside down to push it out. So yeah, thanks to everyone on the forums that showed that technique. Again, I have not seen any videos on getting that stereo out without the tool, so hope you guys learned something from that today. And also the whole harness thing, where you technically have the harness of the Parrot Stereo on there. That's not what you're connecting. You're connecting the actual harness from the 4C onto the harness that goes with the joying stereo. So other things to consider: the tape. I don't know if this is just unique to my car. The tape that was going around that harness that was connected between the 4C and the Parrot Stereo was super sticky. I used a little bit of alcohol to get it off, and I found that I had a cut that I didn't know about on my finger, so that burned a bunch. But I did it for you guys. Maybe wear some gloves up until you get to that point, and then throw those gloves away, or keep them. I don't know. Do whatever you want with those gloves. But I would suggest, yeah. So that stickiness, had it all over my hands, and I was trying to get out of the car without touching anything, and I was successful with that. But again, just maybe a suggestion with that. yeah, gonna take the stereo out like on a real world usage, probably soon, probably this weekend, and then I'll teach you guys anything that I might have learned about the stereo. If you have any questions about the stereo, the install, or anything, just go ahead, leave that in the comments. Let me know what you think. Let me know if you're a purist and you're like, forget that, don't change the stereo, even though technically the stereo is aftermarket anyways. But yeah, I'd like to see what you guys think. Again, if you like the video, give that a thumbs up. Share with anyone that might like this type of content. And don't forget to subscribe, hit the notification bell so you know when a new video is out. And I'll talk to y'all later.